Welcome to our college application process information video. We are 3 graduating seniors, and we wanted to share some information with those of you who are starting the college application process. Here's some things you should think about doing before school starts in the fall. You should set up your Common App account and start looking through and filling out the information you can, and we'll look through that in a little bit more detail in a little bit. You should also familiarize yourself with the Common App prompts, and you can start brainstorming and writing. I would also talk to some people who you want to have write a letter of recommendation for you. It's good to give them as much time as possible so they're not rushed in the fall when everyone has more stuff going on. Also, just some dates for the future. There'll be some more college app boot camps where you can get help on the application process and your essay in the fall, and the dates are there.
Okay, so we're going to show you how to set up your Common App account, and we're going to go on to my Common App account in a second. So you're going to want to go to the Common Application website. It's pretty simple. You're just going to click Apply Now and then click Create an Account, and you'll have to fill out some personal information about yourself. So make sure you know all the answers to that and maybe have your parents with you. So we're going to go into my Common App account, and we're going to show you some of the things that you're going to see when you look at it. So when you log in, you're going to have a dashboard with all of your colleges that you have added and that you decided that you're going to apply to. And it's going to show you the writing requirements, the deadline for the application. The check means that the application is complete, and it will show you if it has a writing supplement and if you have completed that. So there's also a tab that's called My Colleges. And when you click on that, it shows you information about each of the colleges you're applying to. So the first one I have here is Bentley University, and when you click on it, it shows you all of their contact information, the application deadlines, the fees, if it requires a test. Some are test optional, the recommendations that are required so you know which ones you need to get, if there's a writing supplement, and if the personal essay is required. And each college is going to have their own questions. So when you click on that, you're going to have to fill out questions for each of your colleges. You're not going to want to start this until August, because at the end of July each year, the Common App restarts, and it gets rid of all of the information that you put in the My Colleges section. So don't start that until August. You don't want to lose all of the things that you put in here, because the questions might change also. So also there's a section where it says recommenders, and you'll put in who your recommenders are. You can add them on here, and they will be emailed, and they can submit their recommendation through this. And then afterwards, you'll just review and submit your application. And so you have a tab for each of your colleges. So what you're going to want to work on over the summer, and what doesn't get deleted, is your Common App section under the Common App tab, and it has different parts, and it's going to take a lot of time to fill out this section. So you could start, if you start working on it over the summer, it'll be very helpful when you need to write those essays and get everything done and wrapped up. So there's the profile section has all of your personal information that you're going to need to put in. You're going to have to have your parents help you with that part, because you're going to have to put in things like your social security number and stuff like that, so you're going to need their help. Then there's a family part that's going to ask questions about your parents and your siblings, an education part that's going to ask about all the schools that you've gone to, your counselor's name. You're going to need to know your counselor's email, and all of the it's going to ask about your grades, the classes you're taking your senior year, and what classes you took of honors, and other questions like that. Then you're going to have a section with all of your tests, and you can enter all of your test scores. Be aware that some colleges ask you to send all of your test scores, so look into the requirements for each college. Then there's a section called Activities, and this section actually takes a lot more time than you think. For each activity that you do, you put in the activity type, your position, leadership description, and you're going to have to put a little description of the activity and when you participated in it, So this will take a little bit. So this is something you're going to want to work on over the summer. And then the section called writing has the Common App essay, and we're going to show you some of those prompts in a second. And it shows you which of your schools require the essay and which ones don't require the essay. Most of them do require it. So this is something you can also work on over the summer. So remember that the things in my colleges will restart in August, but the things in the Common App will be there, so you can work on that part. Okay, so the college search the college search tab allows you to search for the colleges that you're interested in. So if you're interested in George Mason, you type it in and you search it, and you would just click on it and it shows you all the information, like when it's due, the fees, test policy, and then you would press add to add it to your dashboard. And now you can go to my colleges list and you'll see George Mason on here. And so that's all we're going to show you for the Common App. Just remember that you want to work on the section that says Common App over the summer, and that will be very helpful. So next are the Common App prompts for next year. So many of them haven't changed. A few of them were revised. One of the newest ones that we're kind of excited about is share an essay of any topic of your choice. So basically you can write about anything. And we recommend that you start writing about something before even looking at the prompts and find if any of the prompts fit it. And most of the time there will be a prompt that fits what you wrote about. If not, there is the last one that allows you to write about any essay of your choice. So we recommend that you start brainstorming what you're going to write about in your Common App essay. And then over the summer, if you start drafting that and revising it, after you've got a good draft of it, you can bring it into the Writing Center next year, and you can find someone to tutor it for you and work with you. Also, you can have them look at it at the college application boot camps that we talked about earlier.
So now we're going to talk about something that you're probably a little more familiar with. We're going to talk about family connections. So while you may have looked at family connections for figuring out what kind of career you want when you were in middle school or early in high school, now you're going to use it to help you in your college application process. So one thing that we all agree is very important is to visit a campus when you're looking at the school, or be in touch with some of their representatives just to kind of get a feel for the school. So if you don't have time or the opportunity to go visit a school, a lot of them come to the Career Center, and they send people to meet with prospective students. So in Family Connections, there's a list of upcoming colleges that are coming to visit. It's usually in the fall before application season officially starts. And so we all agree that that's a really good way to kind of know what's going on with the school. And the people that come are really nice. Sometimes there will be a ton of people there if it's like a local school, or if it's an uncommon school, sometimes you may be the only one there. So either way, it's a great way to get more information. Another thing about Family Connections is that it's continuously updated. There's always new information. Mrs. Ferguson is always putting new and updated information on there. After or during your college application process, it's important to think about scholarships. And there's a list of scholarships that Ms. Ferguson continuously adds to on Family Connections. So just while you're looking at scholarships, make sure to look at the essay requirement, so if it requires an essay or not, and then if you need letters of recommendation, and just basically all the prereqs for these scholarships, so that you're prepared for submitting those scholarship applications. Another thing to do kind of early on in the process is add colleges to your list of colleges that you're thinking about, because Ms. Ferguson will be able to see that and send you information if a college is coming to visit, like we talked about a little bit earlier. And then just if there are any updates on that application, you would be one of the first people to know. Also on Family Connection, there's a resume builder. So while you're planning on getting letters of recommendation. So on Family Connection, there's this resume builder where you can list all of your activities. This is a great resource to use if you are when you are asking for letters of recommendation, or just if you need reference to different activities when you're applying to colleges. It's really hard to remember all the things that you did starting freshman year, so this is something that's best to start early. So one other resource that you can use to list out your activities is Zini. So this is a separate website that you can make your own profile. Think about it as kind of like a LinkedIn for college. So it's where you're like putting all of your activities. So you're basically building a resume, putting your activities on this website that makes it more interesting to look at, and it's easier for colleges to see. So it could be used colleges to see, and then also potential roommates. And one thing about Zini is that you can create a video to kind of introduce yourself and talk about who you are. It just gives more of a personal touch than just listing out your activities. And it can be creative, show your personality, but it doesn't necessarily have to. So I'm going to show you guys my Zini profile really quickly. Let's see if a college was looking at this, let's see what it would look like. So basically, you can do a picture of yourself right here, your name, where you're from, school you go to, graduating class, and then what you want to major in. This is the video thing that I was talking about. We are not going to show that today. And then another thing is you can add kind of a personal statement about yourself, something different than just listing out your activities. Another cool thing about Zini is that you can add pictures of yourself or just add other information. So I play field hockey, so I put that there. I'm a big Washington Nationals fan, so I did a picture of me with Bryce Harper because why not? So then you can list your activities and then how long you did them. So field hockey, I did 4 years, and then a little bit about my experience with it and like any awards or anything. And then Writing Center, shout out to the Writing Center. S2S, National Honor Society. This is something that I took advantage of. You can add different documents to your activities if you need them. So I did a presentation, so I just added the presentation in case anybody wanted to look at it. Another thing you could do is, like, if you're a dancer and you wanted to put a video of your performance, you could add that there. It's really wide open. Another thing about these activities are that you have less of a word limit than the Common App does. So there is a word limit, but it's a pretty large amount, so you don't have to worry about writing too much. So those are just all of my activities. It's really easy to edit and really easy to use. So now we are going to go back to the presentation, and here is some more information.
So we have some Twitter accounts that we put for you to follow. The first one is called College Essay Guy, and he basically puts tips for you about writing college essays, and I think he also has a website that you can look at, and you'll find some tips and stuff on there. The next is at the official SAT, and you can find information about SAT test dates and stuff like that. And then you're going to want to follow the Common App. I'm First Gen is for first generation students who are going to be the first person in their family to go to college, and it's helpful for those people. And then you're going to want to follow your class, and you're going to want to follow Hawk Counseling, which is Miss Ferguson's Twitter. She puts a lot of helpful information, scholarships, boot camps, SAT, ACT dates, all of that stuff. So that one's really good to follow. And then if you're interested in UVA, you can follow UVA Dean J. She puts a lot of information about applications and what they're looking for at UVA. and all of the like timeline stuff for that, so if you're interested in that. And then also follow all the accounts of the colleges you're thinking about, because they also put a lot of good information on there about deadlines and when the results are going to come out, stuff like that.
And lastly, another important aspect of the college application process is your SAT and ACT scores, making sure that you send those in. This year there will be an August SAT, which is new. They haven't done that in the past, but Hayfield will not be a testing site. So just be aware of that when you put in your zip code and you're looking for a testing site, that Hayfield won't pop up. So you'll just have to be going to a different school or a location if you're taking the August SAT. Make sure you're aware of any deadlines and when you need to sign up, as well as knowing the score deadlines when your schools need all of that information. You'd hate to not be able to apply to a school just because you forgot the deadline. So the easiest thing is, if you know where you want to go or where you're applying to, just send your scores when you sign up to take the SAT or ACT. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching our video, and good luck next year.